TNA Genesis 2007. Man, I really want to like TNA. I do. There's a lot of good stuff on this show. We got some new blood in main event programs. We got Kaz. We got the Motor City Machine Guns. We got Bobby Roode. X Division's doing well. But there's also a main event where the world singles title is defended in a tag team match. And it's also a 100% main event Mafia, which feels like it's fastly approaching. I don't know, man. I think I like this show. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of it. How about that? I'll give the keys to you. Just kidding. Go back. Just sit back and listen. It's the Apron Bump Podcast.
Yeah. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get started. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Apron Bump Podcast. I am your host, the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring, Kyle. Sorry, I had a few shots before this. Anywhoozle, welcome to. I already introduced the podcast. You know where we're at. We're here about TNA. Hey, English much, Kyle? Oh, gee whiz. First day with my new tongue. Must not have had enough coffee yet. I want to die sometimes. TNA Genesis 2007 was a show that happened and is an event that we will be discussing today on the program. What a show. What a show. We're entering a interesting era. We're entering an interesting era of I am all over the place today. I'm sorry. But an interesting era of TNA. When people think about like mid to late 2000s of TNA, I think a lot of people often default to the like, oh man, it could have been so good if these old timers didn't come in and take everybody's spots. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we're starting to see that with this show. Because up until this point, we've seen a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, but a lot of good stuff. And there's still a lot of good stuff and a lot of good stuff to come. But we can very much see the ails of TNA, the kind of things that kept it, in my opinion, from reaching higher heights, because there's a lot of good on this show. Like I mentioned in the cold open, this show's very similar. If you guys are familiar with WWF Fully Loaded 2000, that was a very pivotal show because it was a show where we gave opportunities in big time spots to new guys like Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, and that kind of set the tone for the next couple of years to come. And TNA, I'm not gonna say this is as significant here, Genesis 07. Well, I mean, Kaz is in the semi-main event against Christian in a ladder match to see who becomes the number one contender for the world title. Like a month or two ago, this guy was a fucking third-rate undercard faction member in Raven's bullshit flock. We got Samoa Joe versus Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode has been dicking around with Eric Young seemingly for fucking 5 years, doing these tarred and feathered matches with Tracy Bro. Like But he's in a serious feud here with Samoa Joe, who's a top guy in the company at this point. And you got the Motor City Machine Guns catching fire here in a pretty good match against the Dudleys. We got the first ever women's knockouts title defense. We crowned the first champion at the last pay-per-view, Bound for Glory, which was Gail Kim. By the way, if you want to check out that episode, as well as all of these TNA episodes, I've covered every single pay-per-view from their first ever proper 3-hour pay-per-view starting back in 2004 with Victory Road, all the way through 04, 05, 06, and all the way here, almost all the way through 07. So that's a lot of content, a lot of great content with a bunch of great guests, etc. to talk about such a wacky company, wacky promotion, wacky time in wrestling. It's always, even if the shows aren't fun to watch, the podcasts are always fun to discuss for bad or good reasons. But no, yeah, like I said, a lot of good stuff here. Women's title. We got the X Division title. Jay Lethal versus Sanjay Dutt in a great match. AJ and Tomko tag team title match. They're defending the titles against the Steiner brothers. We got a Shop of Horrors match with... What's a Shop of Horrors match? Hardest part of the ring? Well, we'll get to it here in a little bit. Don't you worry. But it is Black Rain versus Abyss. And we get a major, major debut in that match. I won't tell you who it is, but keep in mind what certain names are when they're spelled backwards, if you know what I'm saying. We'll get to it. And in the main event, tag team, not a tag team title match. It is the individual TNA World Heavyweight title is on the line in a tag team match. Kurt Angle, the champion, teaming with Kevin Nash to take on Sting and a mystery partner. Ooh, who is it? It's Booker T. But some wacky stuff. We'll get into all the logistics and what didn't make sense, what was good, what was bad. It's the charm of TNA. It's one of the most fascinating eras of wrestling to cover, and I always love it. And I particularly love it when I have such a great, great guest like my boy Nitram from the Four Sides of the Ring podcast. You can catch the Four Sides of the Ring podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as YouTube and all that stuff. I'll leave a link in the description to their link tree where you can find anything that you need from these boys. A really entertaining group of guys over there talking all of the scuttlebutt and all of just the happenings and all the tomfoolery that this world of wrestling gives us. Very entertaining group of cats over there, so go check them out. Again, link in the description to both Nitram's socials and the podcast socials and all that happy stuff. Follow me as well at Apron Bump all across the board. Check out the YouTube if you have not already. A lot of YouTube exclusive stuff dropping there. Likes, rates, reviews, all of that stuff. You know the deal. Please do that all, or I'm going to come over there and tickle you. Like the video, give it a rating, or I'm going to come to your house and tickle you until you come. So anyways, we got... so vulgar for no reason. Let's get into the show, shall we? TNA Genesis 2007 with myself and Nitram from the Four Sides of the Ring podcast. Hey, it wouldn't be a TNA review without some botches in the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, it's post-production.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be smooth sailing after that. But yeah, glad to have you, man. Appreciate you coming on, talking a little tits and ass wrestling. Did you get a chance to check out Genesis 07?
I did. I watched it twice.
Twice.
So I wrote a lot of notes because I was real hateful on the topic. I mean, I was trying to find positive things to say, so I had to watch it again so I can find positive things to say. There's a lot of bad in this pay-per-view, man.
Yeah, so I've been watching all these shows chronologically, and me watching this, I actually thought it was a good show. I think because there's been a lot of shit before this, and in comparison, maybe this was, not as bad.
Right.
I thought honestly there was more bad or more good than bad, but I mean that makes for a better podcast episode. We can debate certain things, I guess. Guess that's how that works. But yeah, overall thoughts. I mean, we'll dive into the individual matches and segments and whatnot, but just raw thoughts, fresh off of watching Genesis twice. Well, what'd you think of the show?
It ends with a bang. The last three matches were really great.
Yeah.
But when I was watching it, I generally just kept saying, I was like, oh man, look at these old WWE people just out of shape, just doing stuff, man.
How dare you? Respect Black Rain.
God, that was my first comment. I literally said, forgot how shitty Black Rain is.
Dude, I have a lot of thoughts on that. We'll get to it. I guess I liked the show because pretty much the entire year before this, maybe even more. The main event scene, it's been Kurt, Joe, Sting, Christian, like pretty much just those guys with a little Abyss sprinkled in here. They're clearly, the show's called Genesis, which sometimes pay-per-views just like, whatever, just give it a name. But it feels like they're trying to actually Genesis some new stars here It's very reminiscent. Have you seen Fully Loaded 2000 from WWF?
I have not.
So that show was pretty prominent because the 3 main event matches had Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle, who were all very new to WWF. All were like within a year.
Right.
And so it was like a very concerted effort to like make new stars. And that's what this show reminded me of, because you might have not have recognized this just watching the show in a vacuum. But like Kaz, very new guy in the main event scene. Bobby Roode, Motor City Machine Guns, like all those guys, like we had never seen them like in prominent matches before.
And fun fact, those are all the positive people I have things to say about.
Hey, well there you go. Well there you go. You didn't like the drinking championship,
dude? No, literally on my page 2, I said honestly enjoyed all this Eric Young stuff.
You know what? I think by the end of this, you're gonna figure out that you actually liked the show. That's what I think is gonna happen here.
It's possible. Like I said, I watched the first time, and man, I was just sitting there, and like I watch with a lot of hate. You know, that's why I'm a dean of hate you. But
I'll say it's on your shirt.
But yeah, man, I was texting my guys, and my boys were just pretty much like, "Bro, you can't go there and just be all negative. Rewatch the show. You clearly missed something." And I was like,
nothing wrong with being
right.
negative. Hey, wrestling content creation thrives off negativity. So the more negative, the better. You know what I'm saying? Let's just dive right in. We start with the national anthem, which is always nice, right? USA, right? I've never seen a crowd more apathetic to the anthem. They were almost annoyed. I don't know if you watched it twice. You must have. They're just like, all right, I guess. What the fuck?
I'm not gonna lie. On my second watch, I just skipped right through it.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I was like, all right, let's go right to the Abyss match.
This guy. Get him out of here, everybody. So we got the opening. Well, we were starting off with a bang. What's the match called? There, Nitram, right? Nitram.
Yeah.
What's the first match called?
Oh, man, it's Dustin Rhodes and Abyss. It's some kind of street fight, but it's not called a street fight.
It's not a street fight at all. It's a completely different match.
It's I didn't even write it in my notes. I literally wrote down a lot of spots, but I didn't write down what the actual match was called.
A Shop of Horrors match.
See, that just sounds bad. They should have just called it a street fight.
Have you seen Shop of Horrors by any chance? The play, the movie? I think it was a movie.
With the plant?
Yeah.
I'm a musical fan.
I actually recently just saw it for the first time. It was actually pretty good. I didn't think I was a musical guy, but I enjoyed it. So I had high expectations coming into this. Correct me if I'm wrong. There were no Venus flytraps in this match.
No, but there was mouse traps.
There was mouse traps. You're right.
I popped when they pulled out the board of mouse traps. I didn't pop. I really did. I popped when they pulled out the board of mouse traps. I think it's a creative spot. I did not pop for the rat prop. And literally, I wrote down, I said, I forgot Black Rain carried a fake rat because they do a rat on a pole match later on.
I don't think it's a fake rat. Wasn't it moving? Or is it like animatronic?
It's got to be animatronic. They threw him down a shirt. Ain't no way they threw a live rat down that man's shirt.
I think you could figure it out.
They do a rat. They do a rat on a pole match eventually.
That's probably not a real rat. I would hope not.
Hey, Peta wasn't on TNA back then. They were like, y'all do whatever you want.
I mean, I don't know. Scott Steiner brought a tiger out of WCW. I don't know. Maybe we're still in an era where we don't care about animals. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, so just to set the scene here, there's what is it, like an electric chair on the stage? I couldn't really tell what it was. Some sort of fence type of deal, metal.
Electrocution was the goal they were trying to get through. Yeah. But what I have down is Abyss deserved so much better than this because Black Rain is probably the worst form of Dustin Rhodes I've ever seen.
Worse than Seven? You familiar with Seven?
I don't know. I gotta look that up now.
You should go watch him. I think it's only one promo, and then he was done with it.
But man, Black Rain is just not the Dustin Rhodes I want to remember or want to love.
Yeah. See, like Black Rain is like almost cool. Like if Dustin Rhodes was in shape and it was in a better like state of mind, I think it could have worked. But he was out of shape. He just looked like he was wearing a garbage bag. Like, I like the dark version of Gold Dust, the rat. I can kind of whenever I don't really care about the rat. Well, it's kind of fun. I thought, the cool music, the gimmick with the blade on the end, Darkness Falls, I think he calls it. I don't know why I'm not gonna keep doing this. But yeah, it just didn't. I thought this was fine. Like, it's a weapon plundery match. You have your spots, like you mentioned. It was just kind of cheap pops, I guess. But I've seen worse. I mean, what other spots stuck out to you in this one?
Like I said, I popped real hard for the mouse traps.
Okay, he gave him the it was like a pedigree, but he called it something else. He called it the blackouts. The blackouts on the mouse traps to Abyss. It's brutal.
Oh, the vice, the putting the hands in the vice. I thought that was funny-ish.
I'm surprised we don't see more vices in wrestling, personally.
Right? Like, my mindset was like, oh, he's gonna break his hands, like kayfabe wise, but no, he just left him there. And then old boy just came and just, I'm gonna let you free. And then his hands were perfectly fine after that. It really did no effect.
Didn't seem to have a plan. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, between that and the rat down the shirt, I think the rat down the shirt honestly ruined the match. I think
James Mitchell's trying to get involved on behalf of Black Rain. He's bringing the rat in there, and Abyss takes the rat and puts it down. What else is Abyss supposed to do? Because you see, on Impact, they took the rat, they put it in a pillowcase, and put it over Abyss's head.
So there's no way that's a live rat, man.
But here's the thing. I think the way they did it, the rat was like down here. So like the pillow cover or whatever was like on his face, but the rat was down. I think rats, they're not like poisonous, right?
No, but they definitely bite.
He got a mask on,
Just
rat proof.
You're not getting paid enough for you getting bit by a rat. That's all I'm saying. TNA, I know.
You could fall on thumbtacks. You could fall on glass. You can get bit by a rat. Would you rather get bit by a rat or fall on thumbtacks?
I'd rather fall on some thumbtacks, man. I know they're cut short. I'm just saying. I know they're cut short. They'll pop out easy. It's a little blood. It'll be fine. I'm asking my cousin though, because he's a professional wrestler. I'm like, yo, man, would you rather do thumbtacks or get bit by a rat?
I thought you were gonna say he was a professional like rat
rat tamer. My cousin Willard.
Look at Stuart Little over here.
But it's a fun match. I always think street fights, hardcore matches, stuff like that. A lot of weapons, see what they can do, get creative. It's always fun. Mm-hmm. It's a fun opener. But Dustin Rhodes just looks like crap. It's just a fat black blob, man. It's real bad. It's real bad. And I love Dustin Rhodes. Like what he's doing now is incredible. But man,
a fat black blob. I think there's no one else I could say that about on the show. But yeah, so the match is fine. Like if you've seen a TNA pay-per-view with Abyss, you've probably seen a version of this match 1,000 times. There's nothing too crazy other than the mouse traps. That was a fun little thing that I haven't seen before. But Abyss gets the win with the black hole slam. And by the way, Black Rain, this whole match, he's wearing this key around his neck that apparently goes to this big box that's on the stage, which I don't know why he didn't just I don't know. But Abyss takes the key, goes up to the box. Maybe Black Rain saw this coming. Abyss takes the key, goes to the box on the stage. It's a big box. It's a human-sized box. Opens it. Mist comes spraying out of it. Do you recognize this fella that sprays Abyss in the face with his mist?
I didn't. I put question mark Black Mist.
Are you familiar with Johnny Stamboli from the FBI? When did you start watching wrestling, by the way?
I started watching probably when I was like 6 years old with my brothers, but it was strictly like WWE. And then
what year would that have been?
Jeez. It would have been around 2000. About this time, 2005.
Oh, so you're post 2000s. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't start getting into TNA until like the very end of the Octagon ring.
Okay, I see. Okay, so you missed Relic, which is this guy's name. Relic which I don't know if you've heard. It's killer spelled backwards.
The cleverness.
Yeah. It's really the nuance of TNA is just unstoppable. Let me tell you, non-stoppable. So a Relic makes his debut here. He's a former Johnny Stamboli. He was in the WWE for a bit, but he's back here to, I guess, be Black Reign's minion of sorts. I don't know. How would you describe a Relic? Is he a demon?
I was gonna say worshiper would be like he's clearly for Black Reign.
Right.
So it's like a cultist, you know, like
you think it's sexual?
Everything's sexual with Dustin Rhodes, though.
It's a good point. It's a good point because, like, a Relic, you know, you change a few things of his attire, and he's a gimp. You know, he's just a leather daddy. He's getting whipped with Cat of Nine Tails or whatever. Not that I would know, but it's on the edge. You make a good point with the Dustin Rhodes element. I think he is androgynous, so I'll unpack.
He's a sexual guy.
But is Black Reign a sexual guy? That would be crazy.
Black Reign needs to just be freaking.
Where do you think he puts that rat?
Apparently down shirts. You know it's going. You know it's going down low.
That rat going somewhere.
That rat is clearly known for being on the human body. That's all I'm saying.
On in everything. So, oh, by the way, they shove Abyss in this box and then throw it off the stage. Abyss is dead, I would assume. So, good stuff there. And maybe not. I don't know. But we go backstage. There's a limo.
Yeah.
There's a limo in the back. The main event, by the way, everybody, is a tag team match for the world title. Yeah, I know. Doesn't make sense. We'll touch on it later.
Yeah, I have thoughts on that too.
Boy, howdy. It's not the first time they've done it, by the way, this year. So, so it's Kurt Angle's the champion. He's going to be teaming with Kevin Nash. And he's going to be taking on Sting and a mystery partner. Who will it be? Who will it be? And we can only assume that the person in this limo is that mystery partner, I guess. I don't know. I would think the mystery partner would have already like gotten there and started stretching or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe they're just chilling in the limo.
Drinking it up, apparently.
Well,
what killed me about this was how hard the security guard went. Like he wanted his 5 moments to shine. He's like, I am security. Like I was just like, yo, beat him up. What are you scared of?
He's taking his job very seriously, this gentleman.
Yeah, he got his lines in.
Man, maybe he'll make it one day. But JB, Jeremy Borash, is out there. He's trying to get the scoop. He's trying to see who's in the limo. Security, it's like, I don't know, 10 security guys in front of this limo. Very serious business. JB tries to get in there, but like you mentioned, the guy's like, come on, get out of here. And then JB's like, hey, I make a lot of money around here. You know what I'm saying? So let me in. And then for whatever reason, that didn't work. And the security guy's like, hey, get your milky white ass out of here. Which I thought was sensational. Sensational line.
It's just his attitude completely changed. Like the next scene.
Well, that would be like a running thread throughout the show. Don't you worry, everybody. That's what ties everything together.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't find out who's in there yet, but maybe we will later. But in the meantime, we got a little tag team match on our hands here. We got Team 3D, Brother Ray, Brother Devon, taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Man. So I actually like the story here. I think maybe it plays on real life and it's kind of timeless. I feel like it's kind of relevant today too. The Dudleys hate the X Division. They hate the flipping and the flopping and the vanilla midgets and all that stuff. And they've been taking it out on, you know, Shark Boy and Petey Williams and everybody on Impact, everybody in the X Division. They've been putting them through tables and whatnot. And the Motor City Machine Guns are not going to stand for it because they were made in Detroit or whatever. So we got a tag match here for X Division versus anti-X Division, I guess.
First thing I wrote down was, ooh, the Dudleys were fat. Fat Dudleys.
You got Bubba Dudley and Black Reign. Continue.
Fat Dudleys, man. But like I said, one thing I'll give TNA props for is for someone who went into the show blind. Their video packages throughout the entire show really do a great job.
They're good,
The narrator was kind of boring, but their video packaging and letting me know exactly what's going on was top notch. Because I sat there and said, it's big beefy men, the Fat Dudleys, versus high flying fast boys, the City Machine Guns.
That should have been their name.
The Fat Dudleys.
Yeah.
Team 3D, man. You know, they were 3D-eyed. They were definitely big up.
40.
That being said, the Dudleys are still the Dudleys. Bubba knows how to work a crowd. Devon's a great wrestler. This match was a lot of fun. Generally, just a lot of fun. I was texting my brother. I said, man, WWE got the Motor City Machine Guns way too late. Because, man, like, not that they still can't go, but, man, they were something special in this time. You know, like Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, man, were just killing it. But I also wrote down during this match, there's a spot where Bubba brings out the belt. And I said, man, nothing screams 2000s like a metal-studded belt.
emo Bubba? Come on now.
I was just like, and they emphasized that. They were like, that metal-studded belt. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was a whole phase. People
but
had
he's not.
colors.
I hate the way that he hits because he's doing the stomp on the mat deal, like the douche. He's not like whipping him with it. He's hitting it like it's a baseball bat. Like if you're gonna have a belt, hit him with the belt. Don't be a pussy.
Exactly.
Bubbers.
No, I want to see these metal studs fly off. You know.
Oh, come on now. But no, I agree. This is actually a pretty good match. Solid story. I think the crowd really resonated with it. I think they were because the Motor City Machine Guns crowd loves them. They're in this position because they were so hot with the crowd from the get-go. I mean, the Dudleys tried to slow it down in the beginning, but once the Guns started speeding up the pace, they were getting the advantage. And ultimately, towards the end, Bubba sets up a table in the corner. They try to throw Sabin through it.
Does a cool-ass flip.
Dude. Sabin backflip, running up the table, backflip, lands on his feet. Devon,
this close to the table, by the way, like he was perfect.
I mean, it couldn't have been better. Sends Devon through the table as he charges him, and then the Guns hit this crazy kicking combination, followed up with a double enziguri of some sorts, and that gets them the 1, 2, 3. So the Machine Guns beat the Dudleys, which I mean. Huge win for them at this point. So
I thought it was a lackluster finish. I thought they had at least one more act to get in before they got that pin. Like it was one of those matches where when it finished, I was like, "Oh, it's done."
Yeah, it did feel kind of like, "Oh, that was what ended it." But like the Machine Guns, like you mentioned, like how the WWE got them way too late. Like the Guns at this point were like so innovative. Like that sequence that finished this match, you see like every tag team do like a version of that. But at this point, it was like so like out of the box and like nobody else. This is before the Young Bucks and all that shit. So, for the time, I think it made sense. But yeah, no, good stuff. Good story. I mean, we're not done with the Dudleys tonight, but it's cool to see the Guns get the win.
I have a complaint about that also, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Can't wait. I can't wait. Can never have too much fat Dudleys.
The Fat Dudleys, man, you know, and there's a scene where Devon, he takes his chest just hanging out. And I'm sitting there, I was like, oh man, just Fat Dudleys, man, out of shape. There's a lot of ex-WWE people on this show where I was like, this is probably the worst shape they've ever been in.
Well, Devon's at least like, he just has mass. Like it's fat and muscle that he put on. Bubba's just a fat piece of shit. So,
you know, they look in better shape now, which is at least that. They noticed that they were not in good shape. So
it's crazy. All these teams were at SummerSlam just the other night. A couple people on the show were, but yeah. Any other thoughts on that one?
No, I mean, it should have opened the show. I thought.
I agree.
Should have. There was 2 matches where I sat here and said that should have opened and that should have closed, and I think this one should have opened.
You can't start with mousetraps. You know, you need a little foreplay before mousetraps.
Yeah, I got to work my way into Black Rain. I don't know. It was just too. It was America the Beautiful and Black Rain, and it was just too close together.
Have you ever seen a TNA show before? By the way, before this, well, I guess you said you started watching like later, right?
And I watched recent TNA. Like I went to the recent TNA pay-per-view last November. So
okay, nice.
I do like TNA. I'm a big person. I'd be like, oh, I like TNA was this, and I'm like, guys, TNA had to walk so AEW can run. I like TNA.
Yeah, I just love the thought of me just throwing the show at you, and right away it's Black Rain. He's like the first guy. It's like, what of like 3 hours of this shit? Oh boy.
I was like, oh man, good old Black Rain. Just
gotta love him. Gotta love him.
But at least an ex-WWE person who looked great, Gail Kim.
There you go.
Yeah.
And her first defense of the TNA Women's Knockout Championship. So they just crowned the first champion, Gail Kim, at the last pay-per-view. So we're very, very early in this division. So we got Gail Kim defending in a 4-way against ODB, Angel Williams, who is Angelina Love, and Roxy Laveau. I thought this is pretty solid. It was definitely like we're, again, early in this division. People don't really know who ODB is. I think she's just starting to flesh out her character. It was like the first time she brings the flask out. She has, just the crazy lift up brawl or whatever the hell she's. I don't know what she's. The dress
she really
with the
went
collar.
For that old dirty bitch look in this one. You know,
hey, can't sue her for slander. That's for sure.
Yeah, you know, I did write down. I said, Women's Revolution definitely started in TNA.
Oh, for sure.
The Knockouts division has always been. Women can wrestle, women can do this. And I think WWE tries to take credit for that. It's always been a Knockouts division. This match was fun. It was fine. I thought they had enough time to do everything they needed to do. And I liked the ending. I liked that Kong came out. I popped for Billy Gunn. Forgot he was with the beautiful people.
Well, he's not yet, but he's about to. He's with, at this point, so VKM. He's with his boy Road Dog, or whatever his name is here. Him and Road Dogg are with Roxy Laveau, the Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Yeah, because it was like Vincent Kennedy McMahon. That's what people were saying. It was.
Do you get it? Do you get it? So, but they're with Roxy Laveau because Voodoo. Now she's like a Voodoo queen. I don't know. None of it makes sense, but we're rolling with it. And I don't know. I have a note here. I forget I don't even know what it means. I wrote ODB spanking and muff smash on Roxy. Oh, it's because she took her head and like shoved it in her cooch. Yep. And yeah, that was one of her. Yeah, there we go.
She innovator, man. I met her in person. She's a lovely woman. I met her in person. She's a lovely woman. But innovator.
Something like that.
I stand down, man. Hey, that was a risky character for her to do, and it worked. So
made her stand out, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And we got Angel Williams. So this is pre-Beautiful People. So I think we're right on the cusp of that. Angel Williams, who would go on to be Angelina Love. She's just kind of here to be, I don't know, just a blonde. We didn't have a blonde in this match, so let's throw her in here. And then Roxy out there with VKM. Now, I agree. It was a pretty solid match here. Like, women's wrestling in 07 is not in a great place. But, yeah, to your point, the Knockouts division has really started here. So, or the women's wrestling, the women's revolution was started here. Any spots in this one stick out to you in particular? Besides
the ODB and the finish, not really. But they had enough time to cook. So, it was fun. Yeah. Fun fatal four-way. And like I said, honestly, I forgot how good Gail Kim was. Like, I always talk about how good Gail. I'm like, oh, Gail Kim, yeah, she was great. She was but watching it, I was like, oh yeah, she really was good.
Yeah, no, yeah, she was a perfect pick to be the first Knockouts champion, and she ends up winning this match, defends her title successfully with a straight jacket neck breaker to ODB. After Roxy missed ODB. More missed, by the way. It's our second miss spot of the night so far. Or keep a running tally. But then out comes Awesome Kong after the match. So this is the match that we're really building to. On the impacts leading up to this, Awesome Kong has had a variety of squash matches. She's been very dominant. I mean, obviously, you look at her, she's a dominant force, but she's been getting win after win on Impact. So really, Gail Kim and Awesome Kong is the match we're building to. And I would argue, this might be a little bit before your time. Maybe you didn't watch these matches, but I would argue these are like the most significant matches for women's wrestling. Have you ever seen any of their one-on-one matches by any chance?
No, I've seen Awesome Kong's later reign before she went to WWE.
Okay.
And had that it was only, God, that was a short run, right? That was like 4 months when she was there. But yeah, I mean, but the presentation that they gave when she came out, the camera work, the way they showed her, I could instantly tell. I was like, this was their, storyline rivalry. This was the one.
Oh, yeah.
If you talk about Gail Kim and TNA, people are going to bring up her because it simply just the way they presented everything, the way Gail looked after it, it looked great.
Yeah, no, and to this day, the Knockouts title, the TNA women's division is always heralded as like one of the best women's divisions, and this kind of sparked it. I mean, these Awesome Kong and Gail Kim, they were like main eventing Impact, which was unheard of at this point in time. Like at this point, like WWE, whatever, WCW, ECW, there weren't a lot of like, oh, did you see that women's match? Like there's some good women's matches, but they weren't like presented in a way where it's like, oh, that was an awesome match, like to the viewer.
That's what 2007. They're probably still doing bra and pennies back then. You know, I mean, it's just
definitely were, yeah,
right. So
it's very revolutionary.
Big difference.
And then we're off to the races. So excited to see that cool little deal here. Just getting Gail Kim a defense here before I believe she loses it to Awesome Kong. I don't totally remember, but we go backstage once again to the limo. So Jeremy Borash couldn't get in there, but maybe Carrot Angle can. So Carrot Angle just walks up to the guy. He's like, "Hey, can I get in?" She's like, "Okay, yes, ma'am, Mrs. Angle." She's using. Women are still objects, I guess, a little bit, but it's whatever. But man, it's not the mystery partner in this limo.
No.
Who is it? Tell me, I forget.
It is James Storm, and I wrote down, look at young Eric Young.
Ooh, hair, young, fresh-faced. God, I love it.
Thought this was going to be so dumb, and it was generally one of my favorite things throughout the entire show.
Right.
The belt being the WWE spinner belt with a bunch of stuff just glued on it, with a beer bottle spinning.
Couldn't be more obvious that it's just a WWE belt with some shit on it.
It's the Velcro title. Oh, man, it's so great. James Storm also just highly delivering. This was hilarious. And he was just like, why you going in our limo? Why are you outside our...
Which, by the way, why are they in a limo? Like, why did they get a limo to do this? It feels very out of character for both guys.
What kills me is he's like, why are you going in our limo? Bro, it's been 3 matches. It's been at least 40 minutes. And now you're questioning why there's people outside your limo?
What the hell are they doing in there? I know they're drinking, but good golly. A little suspicious.
Man.
Yeah.
Young Eric Young, man. At first it popped, but this whole thing just carries on.
Yeah, it carries on through the show. Eric Young and James Storm, they had a match on Impact a few weeks ago. But then James Storm wins, but he respects Eric Young in defeat. So he gives him a beer, and then they chug a beer together. And ever since, they've been competing, who can drink more and whatnot. So we get this running thing throughout the show. Another running thread throughout the show. It's the title you mentioned, the beer drinking championship, or whatever the fuck he called it. And
just the fact they got away with that's just hilarious.
Spinner, the beer bottle.
You can still see the WWE emblem on one of them.
They weren't watching. Who gives a turkey? Well, we'll touch more on that later, I guess. Just setting the scene there. But before that, we got an X Division title match on our hands here. We got the champion, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, versus Sanjay Dutt, the Guru. Man, I liked this a lot. I thought this was an awesome match and a clean finish also, which is like a 4-leaf clover with TNA. It's you can barely ever see those. Just not a ton of build here for this match. These two had been friends for a long time. They kind of came in. They were both kind of vanilla underneath guys. And then Jay Lethal adopted this new persona, became a hit with the crowd, and then Sanjay Dutt is like still kind of just like an underneath guy. He has like this new guru gimmick, which I guess is like he's trying to create peace of mind because he's trying to deal with the fact that he hasn't reached the success of Jay Lethal. So that's kind of an underlying thing here.
He was collecting money from fans,
and they're actually giving him money.
I generally was like, is that staged? And I started looking at people. I was like, oh no, they're throwing dollars at this man. This man is genius. He just made like an extra $30.
Well, he doesn't walk out with it, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, yeah, well.
But no, I thought this was good. Like at the opening, they're like, chain wrestling and countering each other's roll-ups, and Sanjay's he's like, Barry Peace, whatever, I love you, but then he gets pissed off at some point and just slaps the shit out of Jay. Love that stuff. And then we're kind of off to the races from that point. But yeah, what'd you think about this one?
I wrote down, didn't expect much, but I knew Jay Lethal can wrestle anyone.
Right.
This match is where I think the pay-per-view started actually increasing in quality.
Okay.
At this start. So I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. I hate to say it, but everything before this probably could have been cut. Maybe not the Gail Kim, but it's just like,
right. This
is where, to me, I started watching and I was like, yeah, this is where everything starts to pick up for this pay-per-view.
Okay. So I think you enjoyed most of it. I would say, all right.
It's just, until the Fat Dudleys came out, man.
I think you just don't like the Fat Dudleys. I think you like everything else.
The Fat Dudleys came out. So this is the issue I had, and this is a running thing on this show. Is I feel like it presented that TNA had a really small roster, because I feel like I constantly was seeing the same people. Dudley's just had a match. Dudley's now interfere. Later on, someone has a match. They later interfere. And it's the constant same people I'm constantly seeing. And I sit there, I said, do they not have anything else going on? And I don't know. To me, it kind of soured it a little bit. Like I saw too much of the same people in matches. Sure. Not that they don't deserve to be in matches, but it was like they were in the after matches. They were in the promos. It kind of toned it down a little bit for me. But Devon pockets the guy's money, and I laughed. Of
course, it's Devon. But no, I mean the match was good. Like a lot. I mean, Jay Lethal's great. Obviously, I think Sanjay Dutt is super slept on. I think the dude is so good, especially in this time period. Like everything he was doing was so smooth. Like the moonsault, Jay gets out of the way. Dutt lands on his feet, like from the top rope, does another moonsault, kind of what Andrade does nowadays, and then follows it up with a standing shooting star. And again, like 07, this stuff is kind of almost commonplace now, but 07, this was like mind-bending stuff. Yeah, it was. I mean, they were selling great. Like Jay Lethal's, all of his strikes were so heavy, and Sanjay Dutt was doing all these seamless springboards and countering through the ropes, leveraging, pendulum thing through it was so good. I think these guys have great chemistry. But ultimately, and then the finish was great too. Sanjay does a springboard. Jay Lethal catches him in like a Death Valley driver position, seamlessly transitions into the lethal combination, hits the top rope elbow for the 1, 2, 3, and retains the X Division title. So, but then the post match. So Jay Lethal, him and SoCal Val, which is the redheaded lady.
I'm a fan of SoCal. I have her signature card. Fun fact.
Oh, bragging!
I collect signature cards. I do. So I have hers. And I have Jeff Jarrett's. The only 2 TNA cards I have.
That's all you need. I think that pretty much encompasses the company. So, but SoCal Val and Lethal, they've been kind of flirty in the past couple weeks. So Lethal invites Val into the ring. They kind of have a moment in the middle of the ring as Sanjay Dutt. By the way, Dutt and Lethal, they hug. It's like it's all good. Sanjay's throwing rose petals on them as they're kind of just like holding hands in the middle of the ring, having a sweet moment. But then those goddamn Fat Dudleys.
The Fat Dudleys.
Back.
Team 3D thick. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Man, 3 triple D? I don't know. So they get in here, they attack the X Division guys, 3D to Sanjay Dutt, 3D to Jay Lethal. They corner Val just to scare her. They don't do anything, but they just startle her a little bit. You get the belt attacks, studded belt makes an appearance. It's good stuff. And then Bubba grabs the mic. He also grabs the X Division title. He says, the Machine Guns cheated earlier. They didn't beat us. So we're going to steal this X Division title. We're going to hold the X Division title hostage. And then Devon steals the money. So very good stuff all around, right?
It's such a clear camera shot, too, of him pocketing the money. It's so great. He's just like, whoosh.
It's not subtle at all. So they're $12 richer. Yeah. But I don't know. It plays on, like, I'm sure like the online sentiment is like why are the Dudleys such a prominent part of this, even though because they're not like in prime form, as we've been mentioning. But I think they're kind of like, oh, bro, we got heat. You don't understand, bro. This is Bubba Dudley. We got the heat. The fans, I can't do a New Jersey accent, but they don't like us, So we're going to be the X Division champion. Probably what he said.
And I agree, because I believe one thing about Bubba Ray is that he is a genius for in-ring stuff. But he could talk his way into anything. And I do agree that he went to somebody who said, the more Dudleys on the show, the more views we're going to get. And, I'm pretty sure that's all it took. But...
Yeah. Well, so I guess Bubba's X Division champion. I don't know. Is that what that means? But more on that hopefully later. I'll keep you updated on the Dudleys and their adventures in the X Division. Don't you worry.
On their journey of losing weight.
No, I don't know. Well, eventually. We could Bully Ray. Bully Ray's a little bit more svelte, I would say. But man, after that, we cut backstage. Kevin Nash cuts a promo. He's kind of building up to the main event. It says him and Kurt, they're going to be teaming, but they're not friends. But they have to coexist to take on Sting and his partner. We'll get into all the goofy rules of the match when we get there, but it's kind of more build to that. But then we cut to Eric Young and James Storm chasing the devil. So they're in like some room backstage and having like a beer Olympics of sorts, which is what it seems like to me. Jacqueline's there to kind of mediate. Seems like she's with James Storm. You familiar with the chasing the devil?
I'm not. It was so weird, this segment, because I generally feel like they didn't have a script, because the way they were talking, he was like, I think you're saying the hair. He's like chasing the devil. Like, it was almost like he wanted to say the hair of the dog, and then he was like, they just started doing some different stuff.
I think maybe they're shoot drunk. That's what I'm thinking.
And honestly, if that's what it is, it made for a way better segment, because I generally just started laughing. I think, like I said, this honestly was probably one of my favorite things ongoing throughout the entire night. But yeah, they had the little the beer
bong.
Yeah, beer bong. And I was sitting there, I was like, it's a random bottle of wine. And then what killed me was, like, I was sitting there, I was like, are they getting drunk off 1 6-pack?
Well, they got little Jack Daniels there.
Jack Daniels.
Who knows what else?
I was sitting there, I was like, well, all I see is 1 6-pack. And then he was like, that's the good stuff. And I was like, okay, we do got a bottle of liquor somewhere. All right.
What beer was it? Did you catch it? I meant to look.
I didn't. It didn't look like it was a legit beer, though. It might have been
didn't
something
look familiar.
Like if they slapped a label on something just to cover up so they don't have to pay nothing. But
right. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, we might as well just like kind of wrap it all up here, because it's kind of like they'll do it in pieces, like in between the match. So I guess they're having like a beer, like who can drink the most alcohol, essentially. And but I love this, like, because James Storm is a guy they like tried to make a serious heel for so long, didn't really work out. So now they're leaning into this like comedic role for him, which to me I feel like it just fit him so much better. Like even like in the Beer Money, his tag team with Bobby Roode is kind of the goofy one. I thought it just fit him so well.
That was like, because he comes up later on the show, Bobby Roode, and Randy Savage was with me. He was like, oh, that's Bobby Roode. And I was like, yeah, this is like pre-Beer Money. But I was like, but Beer Money? And he's like, what's that? And I explained it all to him. And I was like, generally, top 10 greatest tag teams of all time. Like,
I agree. And no argument from here. But so James Storm, he's like the beer guy. So he's pissed off that Eric Young is hanging with him. So he's trying to do the beer bongs and the chasing the devils. Like you take 2 shots and then you chug a beer. It feels like he's just making this up, to your point. But
like, they were just, like I said, there was no script. They were just shooting at it. Like, yeah, we're gonna do that. I was like, all right.
They literally told him, hey, go in this room and do some games or something. I don't know. Figure it out. We got a Shop of Horrors match to book. How do you figure it out? Then, like later in the show, they cut back there. Jacqueline has a flask in her tits for some reason. She makes Eric Young grab it.
He
chugs it.
No.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was Borash.
Borash goes, they're drinking back there. He goes, I've been having a hell of a night. I need to go back there too. Like,
it's like, have you, JB? You just tried a little bit to get into a limo. That's all you did. You piece
got
of
punked
shit.
by a security guard.
You milky, whatever the hell he called him. Then so JB's in there. He's getting the scoop. Eric Young shows. Am I supposed to believe that James Storm has never seen a beer bong before?
Look, what killed me was like he chugged it, but there was so much foam coming out. And then he was like, yeah, you know what? And he started pouring the liquor in it. You just see the foam constantly pushing out. And I was like, I wonder what I could believe he drank some liquor. But did he? You know what I mean?
Why not? If you're not wrestling, might as well just get hammered on TV.
Facts. But he eventually passes out. And that leaves Eric Young to win. I guess that's the rules. If you can't walk, you lose.
I suppose so. The rules weren't really laid out to us, but I would ascertain that those are the rules. Yes.
What killed me is he's like, I win, and Jacqueline's just like, leave it, put it down.
He's a new champion. That's his belt, lady.
He was like, don't let him drive.
Oh man, well, hopefully not. I don't know. It's 07. There's no rules.
Good old
days.
Yeah, the good old days where you can get away with a good joke.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, so Eric Young, new drinking champion. So that's something. But we got another title on the line, or I guess 2 titles. We got the tag team titles on the line. Team of AJ Styles and Tyson Tomko defending their tag team titles against the Steiner brothers. Rick and Scott's. Man, what a cast of characters in this one.
I'm not that familiar with Tomko.
Okay.
And I sat there and said, AJ Styles is my GOAT. But this is such a weird looking tag team. I was like, they just don't look like they
I kind of like them. I kind of like how that they're mismatched a little bit, though. And AJ Styles, anything he does turns to gold. So.
Yeah. I wrote down, I said, AJ Styles always had something special. Doesn't matter when or where. Also wrote down, how are the Steiners the best in shape ex-WWE people?
Dude, the thing, because the Steiners have always been kind of clunky and bulky and goofy looking, that they're old now, but it's like you're kind of doing the same stuff because you're not super smooth. Like Rick Steiner, I thought actually weirdly looked good in this, physically, the suplexes he was doing, and obviously AJ is a good guy to make that look good, but.
I was gonna say it's a lot on AJ. AJ was selling the hell out of his chops, was selling the hell out of the suplexes. AJ was doing his thing.
Tomko, shout out Tomko. He had a pretty short run. He was Christian's manager in WWE, and then they both left, and they kind of rekindled that team in TNA, and then AJ came into the fold. So Tomko, you saw him. That's kind of what you get with him. Just big bodyguard, meathead. Kind of stereotypical. He probably has a lot of Affliction shirts, which might be before your time. I don't even know if you know what that reference is, but
I wrote down. I said Tomko looks like a bouncer who wears tank tops to show off his tattoo.
I think he was a bouncer. Actually, I think that's. I think you're actually right. Hold on. I think he was or maybe he was a bodyguard for somebody.
I was like, there's nothing more threatening than having to wear a certain style of clothing to show off your threatening tattoo.
Oh, yeah, the tribal tattoos. Yeah, those are tattoos you're always trying to show off, for sure. Let's see here. He was he was a bodyguard for Limp Bizkit.
See, that's a tag team that fits. He looks like a bodyguard for Limp Bizkit.
Oh my god! If you're like, hey, draw the bodyguard for Limp Bizkit, you would draw Tomko. The goatee, the bald head, the tattoos, everything. That's so funny. That's so perfect.
Oh man.
But
Call up Fred Durst.
yeah.
Also-
This is one of those matches where I was like watching it, and like for whatever reason I wasn't absorbing what was like nothing like in particularly like exciting happened, but it like wasn't a bad match. I don't know.
This is a match I could went to the bathroom for on the second watch, but nothing wrong.
Yeah,
Like there was nothing wrong with the match. It was just on the card.
Right. Yeah,
It
not
was
a lot
better
of heat
than
to
Black
it.
Rain.
It was if that's the bar. It definitely met that bar. Yeah, it was a fun little tag match. I mean, it was get the goofy Steiners in there, throw AJ Styles around. You're always gonna have a good time with that. So
I also wrote down, I said, man, Braun Breaker does look like his daddy.
so I was fun. I was watching old WCW in the living room, and my wife happened to be there. And the Steiners were out there cutting a promo, and she was like, "Is that Braun Breaker's dad or something?" Like joking. And I was like,
Yes.
"Yeah, it is." It's just so like obvious. They sound the exact same. They like move the same. They have like similar mannerisms. So he's very much his daddy a lot. But yeah, kind of a goofy finish though. Very TNA finish. So the Steiners, they have the match won with that Doomsday Device Bulldog, but the ref is out. Got knocked out at some point. I don't really totally remember what happened. But eventually AJ Styles gets a steel chair, hits Rick in the face with it, gets the 1, 2, 3. AJ and Tomko retain.
Yes. Not the last time we'll see them on the show.
No.
Which is my point. Just felt like a small roster.
So, and I guess more backstory on that. So they are currently aligned with Christian. Christian's kind of their leader. But Christian kind of told them to stay out of his business for tonight. So AJ was the leader of the two. So he was leading Tomko. But to your point, well, we have some happenings with that, some shakeups there. But I guess more teases for the end of the show. But we go back, but a new limo's backstage. My goodness, a white limo this time. So this must be. Mike Tenay is very adamant. This has got to be the mystery tag team partner, which is like, okay, at this point, we're like less than an hour until the match. Like, don't you think they would be in the locker room doing some Hindu squats and, getting oiled up or something? Like, I don't know.
Stretching the limo, man, when you got that kind of space.
It is a stretch limo.
It's a stretch limo.
I mean, God damn it. I'm just an idiot. It was right in front of me. I could have, whatever. I'm wrong. But I don't think anything. I think Kurt Angle just sees it on the monitor. He's like, what the heck? I gotta go find who it is. And he goes storming back there. But I think that happens later, maybe. But before that, we got Samoa Joe taking on Robert Roode. It's in very, like you mentioned, is like we're almost at beer money. This is kind of like the ending stretch of his first push as a singles guy. Like he has the look. He has that like it factor, quote unquote, but like something's not clicking. I feel like with Robert Roode at this point, like this is a solid match here.
I wrote down. I said Robert Roode almost being the glorious Robert Roode in TNA.
It's a good call.
Then I wrote down Joe versus Roode, great video package. What is this NXT takeover?
Oh yeah, didn't even yeah. That makes yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean. Generally, I wrote down, and this is before the next match, I wrote down best match of the night.
Really?
I generally think so. I think Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe honestly they're always in sync. They have great chemistry, them two. And it's just something about the match where I sat there glued both times watching it, like almost as if it was the first time I watched it. But it's not the best match of the night. That comes later on. But
okay.
That being said, I look at this Joe and Roode match and everything they've done forward all the way up until their NXT when Roode debuts against Joe. And I said, the way everything was planted seeds here is almost beautiful because it literally was like a flash into the future. And
right.
yeah, I mean, there wasn't like any crazy spots. There was nothing really, like, oh my god, insane. But it was just
solid.
It was a solid match. It could have went either way, which was a great thing. And but yeah, man. I mean, on top of that, like I said, the video package guy really sold it.
Yeah, the build, not a crazy build to this one. Like the tournament, which we'll crown the winner of later in the show. Both these guys were in it. Robert Roode cost Joe his match. Joe cost Robert Roode his match, and that's pretty much how we got here. Two guys that don't like each other and both cost each other a shot at the world title. So pretty kind of basic kind of feud here, but good promo from Robert Roode before the match too. Like it's always been, I feel like, his strength is his ability to talk. He said, "I made you bleed like the pig that you are, and I'm gonna make you moan like the bitch that you are." It's like, what the hell? Are you gonna fuck Smo Joe?
It's bars. It's bars.
That's something. That's something. But
hanging out with Black Rain, man. You gotta figure out how to make men mode. You just
that TNA locker room.
We gotta put a tally up for every time we bring up Black Rain.
Not enough. More people should talk about Black Rain. Is what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna tweet later. I'm gonna tweet Dustin Rhodes and be like, "Did you honestly enjoy your Black Rain run?" And I'm curious if he'll even tweet me back.
He might actually. He might. I would guess he does not have favorable opinions on that.
It's weird, man. It's a weird character. Goldust is a weird character, but Black Rain, when you out weird Goldust, you're on something else.
I think, man, I'm telling you, man, it was almost there. If he just wasn't fat, he was just in goddamn shape.
If this Dustin Rhodes that we have now was Black Rain, it could possibly work.
I could see the Natural coming out there with a rat, and he can make it work today.
Gotta be a trained rat, man.
Trained rat. Yes. Yes. Hey, what do you think of these fire dancers out there with Smo Joe?
It was probably a waste of money out of his pocket.
I fucking hate these. That's like he comes out to these goddamn dumb grass skirt. Like, it's not Samoa Joe. He's not like hookah haka. Like he's like big Samoan guy. Like we don't need I don't know. But
I wrote down, as far as wrestling goes, Samoa Joe has just always been Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah, he's pulling out all the classics in this one. The kicks, the Olay kicks on the outside, the sentons, the knees, the sit down, the Uranagi deal in the corner. All the good stuff. Robert Roode with neck breakers, working on the neck of Samoa Joe. Busts out a pile driver, which felt like a big deal here. We're in a pretty taboo period for the pile driver. Yeah. Then the finish comes when Robert Roode sets up for the payoff. There's a fisherman suplex. But by the way, like halfway into this match, it just cuts to Tracy Brooks, who's there with Robert Roode. She's just laid out, unconscious. Bill Cosby, right on the floor. And Robert Roode sees this. And he's like, whatever. And he continues his fisherman suplex. But he's distracted for just enough time that Samoa Joe can take advantage and hits the Muscle Buster for the 1, 2, 3.
Such a mean-looking move, too. I love that move. But
so good. Tyson Kidd didn't like it, but I like it. Oh man, poor Tyson. But no, that was a good finish. I thought it's because the Tracy Brooks, she's been kind of mistreated by Roode. He's been abusing her verbally, and she's not having it anymore. And for whatever reason, she just got knocked out. We didn't see anything. She was just there laid out. So I'm curious as to where they go with that. But do you have any guesses?
Oh, she could have been drinking with James Storm. He's just seemed to fall out, but
Great point.
Never underestimate the rats. It always could have just been the rats, man.
Could have been a stray rat, or maybe it's the same rat. I didn't see them collect the rat after the match. So maybe he was,
Ate his way into the guy's stomach, just
Well, they also have the lady in the crowd holding up signs asking Robert Roode. She wants to be Robert Roode's new manager. She's like, why Tracy? Why not me? I didn't really recognize her, the one in the crowd. I don't know if you did or not.
Mm-mm. I thought it was just a fan.
Yeah, I mean they've been playing up to her for like on Impact and stuff, so it's definitely something they're building to. I assume she's a wrestler of some sort. I didn't recognize her, but I don't know. So I don't know if she like attacked her off camera or like shot like a poison dart at her or something. I don't know, but
Clearly the cameraman missed something.
you would think. I mean,
or maybe we all missed something. That's why Robert Roode was just like, "Oh, all right,
hey, she good? All right."
all right."
Don't know. But yeah, so Joe gets the win here. And we cut back to the white limo. I know what you're. I need more limo talk. Well, we cut back to the white limo. Kurt sees this. He's like, I got to go out there. I got to go see who's in there. I got to go see who my opponent is tonight. So Kurt goes back there, beats up all the security guards. He doesn't even ask. He just starts throwing hands. And then Sting comes in there to stop him. He runs him off with his bat or whatever. So nothing really happens. But yeah, Kurt's desperate to see who's in this limo because it's got to be the guy in the main event, right?
I mean, if it's not, we're wasting a lot of cameramen just filming limos in the parking lot.
Just a guy. Hey, your duty, stand out here and look at this limo all night. Man, oh man. But
just trying to explain to your boss like why he was filming the wrong limo for 30 minutes.
Oh, the white limo. My bad. I'm sorry. Gosh darn it. All the security's around the wrong limo. That's so funny. But we get to our the match before the main event. We got a ladder match to crown the number one contender for the TNA heavyweight title. And it's the finals of the Fight for the Right tournament, which is to crown the number one contender. So we got Christian Cage versus Kaz. Ladder match. Match of the night, you think?
That's what I wrote down. I literally wrote down, never mind, this is the best match. My notes. Christian Cage was great anywhere but WWE.
Yeah, I think he was good in WWE, but I think he definitely thrived more in TNA.
And then, like, I was trying to explain this to my cousin. I was like, TNA, amazing. WWE was like, it's Christian. AEW, amazing. It's like he just thrives outside of WWE. I don't know if he he has his own creative pool or whatever it is, but they missed opportunity. My second note, Kaz. I guess Kazarian's too long.
Well, let me tell you why. So he was initially, before this, he was in Raven's group, Serotonin. So it was kind of the Flock, but it was a different name. So he recruited different guys. Kaz was in it, some other guys, but he gave them all like wacky names, and all the wackiest they could think of for Kazarian was Kaz. And I guess he just kept that name when he broke off from that stable. So,
but yeah, and then I put small ass ladders.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it reached, right?
I don't know. There's something about the ladder being the same height as Christian Cage that I was kind of like, this is a tiny ass ladder.
Look, brother, we just had to pay for Booker T. Like we don't have to hit in the budget to get big ladders. All right.
Slowly take your 2 steps before you get to the top. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
We got 12 limos to pay for. We don't have enough money to get 12-foot ladders.
I wrote down a lot of people I already seen getting involved.
Yeah. Well, so Christian versus Kaz. Before the match, Christian tells Tyson Tomko, AJ Styles, hey, I got business. I got a point to prove. I don't need you guys out there with me. Stay in the back. Do not come out. And then he walks away, and then AJ's like, hey, Tomko, I'm the leader. Ignore what Christian said. Just follow my lead, okay? I'm AJ Styles.
That's actually a good impression.
I'm trying. I try. It's better than my bully red.
Your bubble was low bar, but your AJ Styles, is up there.
That was my black rain of impressions. Bubba was. So we're here. Kazarian, I mean, he's been in undercard matches. He's been in pre-shows. He's been barely on TV. And now all of a sudden, He's in a co-main event versus Christian to fight for a world title shot. And I thought he showed out here. I thought he rose to the occasion. This is one of the best matches I've seen from him, I would say.
I also generally said, if this would have ended the show, would have been better off.
Maybe. Yeah, perhaps.
Also, my last note here was sweet finish. I thought that was a cool spot, man. He had the ladder. He bounced himself back.
Yes.
Thought it was generally just a cool spot. It's probably been done 100 times since then, but back then, that was probably like, whoa, my guy just bounced it, But generally, I thought it was a sweet finish. The match was completely fun. Christian's amazing. I know old Frankie Kazarian, but watching this Frankie Kazarian, totally get it. He never missed a step. I wrote down best match of the night. Probably should have closed the show.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of like the old school, like Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon ladder matches, where it's not about like the crazy stunts. It's more about like the brutality, like trying to like using the ladder as a weapon. I felt like what a lot of this match was like in the spot. Like it was interesting to me to see how the crowd reacted to certain spots, because sometimes I forget we're like in 2007 and maybe some of these, like nowadays we get a ladder match like every other week, it seems like. So we're like,
right.
We're so desensitized to it, but back here it was still relatively rare. We're seeing like ladder bridges in between the ring and the barricade, and Christian does a frog splash onto Kaz from the top rope onto this bridge. That ladder did not budge, by the way.
Nah, there's one spot where Frankie's running and Christian just pegs the ladder.
Yes.
Oh my God, the way it bounced off his body. I was like, God,
holy shit! Chance after. I mean, that was.
I was like,
crazy.
Jesus. It's just like something so simple, but they absolutely delivered on it. Christian does get cut. He does bleed.
Early on, yeah. Like the first ladder spot. Like he's holding the ladder on the outside and Kaz does a plancha onto him from the inside of the ring, and they just catches him wrong, I guess, and busts open his eye and swelling and all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
But I feel like it added to the match. I thought.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this Christian was going through it. But yeah, man, honestly, best match of the entire night. And it was just two guys that honestly, if they could probably still deliver something this good if they both were doing it right now.
Christian's still as good today as he ever was, I feel like. And Kaz, I mean, I haven't been super tapped into TNA, but from my understanding, he's still doing pretty good stuff there. So
he is.
But there was one point in this match where Kaz, he has Christian down. He sets up the ladder like in the ropes, like between the first and second rope, but like most of it's in the ring, like in the corner of the ring. And he climbs the ladder. And he's like, "Wait a minute, I'm not in the middle of the ring. The contract's over there." Like, yeah, I guess maybe he's been hit with the ladder too many times.
There's so many times where they like set up ladders, and I'll be like, they realize they're not even close to it, right? I'm like, either the camera angle is really bad, or they are not centered to wear the title.
Yeah. Which, by the way, it's a contract that they're trying to get, but it's not in a briefcase or anything. It's just a loose. It's on a clipboard, but the fucking paper falls out of it at some point.
So it's literally just a clipboard. And shout outs to Don West clearing that up, because he was like, yeah, at this point they're just climbing up for the clipboard. The clipboard is the actual prize.
Right.
Like, good job, Don. May you rest in peace, man. Great commentator.
They made it make sense, I guess. But yeah, towards the end here, Christian climbs the ladder, almost has the clipboard, but then Kaz springboard drop kicks the shit out of this ladder, like sends it flying. Christian goes flying. Like a lot of these spots that seem very cliche nowadays just felt so impactful here. But then Christian gets back up, he recovers. He's starting to climb the ladder. He's almost at the clipboard. But then AJ Styles and Tomko come out to, I guess, try to help him, but he's already like at the top. So it's like, why is this point that you need to come out? It's almost like they're in cahoots with somebody else, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Story will tell.
We'll see how that angle shapes up, folks. So AJ yells, he's like, "Okay, Christian, keep climbing, keep going up." And Christian's like, "Why are you out here? I told you to stay in the back." And then this distraction allows Kaz to climb up the ladder. They're both at the top. Ladder tips over. Christian falls to the outside onto Tomko and AJ. But like you mentioned, Kaz catches himself with his foot on the top rope, shoves himself back to the middle. Very precarious, but it looked great. And grabs the clipboard. And he is the new number 1 contender.
Yes. And it's perfect enough timing. By the time he hits the floor, they show AJ and all of them. And then when they clip back to Kaz, the paper's magically back in the clipboard.
A little disheveled.
Yeah. I imagine when it fell, the ref was like,
we can't just have you holding up a blank clipboard. That'll look ridiculous.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, generally, I think this is the talking point from this show, besides the debut, obviously, coming up.
Right. No, yeah, it was, I mean, the more because I watch a lot of different eras of wrestling. I watch like 04, like Christian's run there, watching here, I'm watching his current stuff, his series with Randy, like in the early 2010s. Like, the more I watch this stuff, it's like, I think Christian is like an all-time great. Like, he's
for sure.
Maybe you could argue top 10. Like, his work just spans so long, and it's so good throughout the entire thing.
Do you remember when Christian was like secretly announced for AEW and Tony Khan was like, it's going to be a Hall of Fame worthy talent?
Right.
I remember telling the guys, I was like, it's going to be Christian Cage, guys. Like, Christian Cage is a Hall of Fame worthy talent. He's just not in the Hall of Fame. Like, he's great. And when it was Christian, the backlash that they was getting, and I was like, you guys clearly don't know ball if you don't think Christian is this good. Like,
I think he just always gets compared to Edge, and obviously Edge is like the more like highlighted guy of the two. But Christian has so many hidden gems like this. Like, nobody talks about Christian versus Kaz from Genesis 2007, but it's like a great match. Mm-hmm. And you know, like his series with Randy Orton, obviously the TLC stuff early in his career. I just watched like all the matches he had with Chris Jericho in 2004. I don't know if you've seen those matches. It's like a pretty dire period for WWE, but those matches are legit great. They have a steel cage match that's awesome. The WrestleMania match.
Is that before Team Canada?
That is after. Yeah, his Team Canada run was a bit of a shaky period, but he's one of the best. I mean, underrated isn't even the right word. He's legitimately just one of the best of all time.
I think the reason why people don't consider him that is, like I said, is something about his WWE run that kind of just like fell so flat. You know, ECW world champion, which that ECW was garbage. He was world champion twice, which that run was cool, but he only got it because Edge forcefully retired.
Yeah.
And he was made to look like a doofus when he was champion. One more match, which caught on somehow, which good for him. But it's just like, I look at his work in TNA, I look at everything he's contributed and done so far in AEW, and I can sit here and say Christian Cage has left more impact for wrestling than someone like Edge has. You know what I mean? Like, so, but sure. Edge is the WWE guy. You know, he had a great WWE run, so people compare it. But, I mean, try to make it outside WWE. It's not going so well for some people, but for others, it's a shine, So
yeah. To your point, he always just was second fiddle to Edge in WWE, and it was made to look, even when he was world champion, it was made to look like a goof. So, his stuff is just under the radar, like his Alberto Del Rio match from SummerSlam, whatever year. I watched that recently too. Just like, God, it's like he has gems all over the place with everybody. He can make anybody look good. So,
one of my favorite promos was the SummerSlam promo where he's like, it's not SummerSlam, sorry, Survivor Series, but he's on a team with like Shelton Benjamin, Mark Henry. He's like, guys, I get it. I'm the only one, and they're like, oh, it's okay. And they're like, no, I'm the only one that's Canadian. They're like, oh, yeah. It's just like,
right. And then he does the rap. He's like, our truth, like, 4 of us are black and 1 of us is white. What's up? Or whatever. So that was a terrible interpretation of it. I'm sure there's more to it, but I didn't really sell it well there. But no, he's great. It was great. Go watch it, everybody. But
But yeah,
man,
Christian
shout
definitely
out.
is one of the best to ever do it.
But speaking of some of the best to ever do it, we got our main event on deck here, everybody. We got the TNA World Title up for grabs in a tag team match. A tag team match.
Yeah. So there's a thing about TNA that I have to explain to people that don't know TNA, and it's that they have some goofy as stipulations, matches, rules, and this is definitely one of them. The reverse battle royal is definitely another one.
By the way, that's how we got to Christian versus Kaz. The first thing of that tournament was a reverse battle royal. But continue.
Jesus, which is it's god awful.
No, it was a reverse battle royal to figure out the seeds of a tournament. So it's like the first 8 guys that get in the ring are in the tournament, and the order that you get in the ring is your seed. By the way, Rikishi was there. He got in the tournament, but he just left in the middle of it. He's still, you're not paying me enough. So he was out of there just whatever, randomly. Throwing Chris Harris in his spot. He loses. Christian wasn't even in the tournament initially, but then the Machine Guns got beat up by the Dudleys because they had a match against each other. So the Machine Guns got taken out of the tournament. Now Christian's in there. It was a whole thing, like you were saying.
Yeah, so it's just like see how ridiculous it sounds to get to one point, but it's just like
it's a lot.
It's like I have to explain it to some people. I'm like, yeah, like like Feast or Fired, and they're like, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's like Money in the Bank, but one of your briefcase can give you your pink slip because that's how they would fire certain people sometimes. And he was just like, it's just certain things that TNA does. This is goofy. A tag title for a single title is just as goofy as a solo tag champion, which TNA has also done.
Very recently before this, yeah. I will say this about TNA. It's goofy. A lot of it's dumb. A lot of it's bad, but it's always like weirdly engaging. Like even when it's bad, it's like, oh, that's fucking stupid. That's why are we doing this? You're like, well, I gotta see what happens. So
yeah, there's also a lot of things TNA contributed that I wish more shows would have done. Like they used to do like backstage stuff where like the wrestlers were not dumb about them being filmed backstage. And like, I'm not going to talk you my strategy. They watched the monitors, and I was like,
right.
That's great. Like, do more of that. But going into this main event, right? Kurt Angle, and I go on record on saying this, is my favorite wrestler of all time. I think he is the greatest wrestler of all time. I think he was the full package. I think he could do it all. I met him. He was not enthusiastic. I was very disappointed, but I do have my signed action figure from Kurt Angle. One of my least favorite wrestlers to watch of all time is Kevin Nash.
How dare you? Big sex.
You can't tell me you don't. Kevin Nash is not an exciting wrestler, and yeah, it's world title reigns are bad too. But we'll get into that different time. So seeing them together, I was just like, oh yeah, Kurt Angle. Oh, it's Kevin Nash.
Hey, like the net, take the pluses with the negatives. It's a net positive, right? Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash on a team.
But then it's Sting, and you can't go wrong with Sting. I vaguely remember and I'm gonna tell you how I remember this: the Booker T jumping ship. Mm-hmm. There was a time where a lot of people were just jumping ship. But I vaguely remember it, and the reason why I remember it is because my stepfather, who is a diehard tribalist WWE fan, like to this day, just tribalist WWE. You know what kind of fan I'm talking about?
Yeah,
tribalist. Yeah, was one of those people that when that news broke, he was like, Booker T never been shit anyway. Like just straight bashing on Booker T. But
Stevie Ray was always the better one.
Yeah, like. I'm trying to. It's comments like that that kind of tribalism. But it was just like one of those things, and I was sitting there, and I was like, Booker T's I'm doing what? Like Kurt Angle's doing what? Like as a kid, I'm like this is cool. Yeah, he was real tribalistic, except when it came from Sting. He never once talked bad about Sting. I don't know what it was. Something about it. He just loved that man. But
that was his line.
Very, very, very toxic fandom growing up in my house.
Ahead of his time.
If Twitter was back then, he would have been he would have had 1 million followers by now. But yeah, and the pop. First thing I wrote down, I said, listen to the pop for Booker T.
Shout out Booker T.
Shout out. Booker T and Kurt Angle are two wrestlers that I say TNA runs, I always say I think are better than their WWE runs, but it's not that far off.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Are you familiar with their feud in WWE, Kurt and Booker?
Yes.
I want to have sex with your light wife. She's a gutter slut. I want to have bestiality sex with her.
Ooh,
good stuff, right? So I think it's safe to say Booker.
They go pretty far nowadays.
Yeah, but the Vince voice came out, but just subconsciously.
Vince was like, I just want you to say this to Booker T. No, just say it.
God damn, it'll be so good.
But this match was okay. I don't think it lived up to the.
It felt rushed to me.
That and the finish to me kind of seemed odd. So I don't know if the ref missed his spot or if Kurt really, like someone said, and then Kurt should get out the ring, grab the ref, go back in for the 1, 2, 3 and look frustrated because like he sat there and was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like turn around.
Kind of made Sting look like a jamoke too. Like, oh, he's knocked out for real.
Yeah. My dude, that was a 10 count. If I ever seen one, like didn't even get the
angle slam. Nobody gets beat with the angle slam anymore.
Like if Sting would have kicked, I would have been like, okay, we got here. But the fact that was the finish, I was kind of like, did the ref just forget his spot? Like,
well, he was distracted by the, I guess obviously Booker T debuts here. So it's Booker T and Sting versus Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash. And by the way, the rules here, whoever gets the pinfall or submission becomes TNA champion. So if Kevin Nash were to win on behalf of his team with Kurt Angle, they would win, but then Kevin Nash would then take the title from Kurt. So like there's like Kurt and Kevin Nash are like trying to like they're breaking up each other's pins, even though they're on the same team.
It's a fatal 4-way without saying it's a fatal.
Why not just make it a fucking fatal 4-way? I don't know.
But also it's like, why would you even like if I'm Booker T and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're gonna be on the same team? Yeah, but if you get the pin, you're world champion. Why would I be like, oh, don't worry, Sting, I'm gonna make sure you win, buddy? You know what I mean? It's a goofy stipulation.
Why wouldn't Sting get somebody shitty to be his partner? Because then that would increase his odds.
Right.
Like Gilbert or somebody. Get Black Rain. Get Black Rain to be his partner.
Oh man. The rat down Kevin Nash's long body, man, would have been fun for Black Rain, huh?
That was a crazy thing to say just there. His long body. Whoa. Okay.
Off his long body.
Oh, all deep in there, I guess. Yeah.
I wrote down Kevin Nash got tagged in. Boring. Kurt's back in. Fun. Kevin Nash back in. Boring.
Yeah, I kind of have this, like, it feels because Booker T obviously has his entrance. It's a big moment, huge pop. Sting starts the match for his team, which I get. You want to build to like the hot tag or whatever. Yeah. Like the crowd's chanting, "We want Booker."
Spinaroonie. They were going hard for
Spinaroonie. They wanted the Spinaroonie, but it felt like they didn't really like capitalize on the build to the hot. Like it felt like Booker T was just in the match at some point, and he was just like he got in, then Kurt Angle ran away, so he kind of like stifled the momentum there. I feel like it didn't really, to your point, didn't really live up to what it could have been. I think.
I generally think I thought the stipulation was goofy. I thought the ref spot, whether it was on purpose or just made everything kind of look goofy. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, I wrote down Booker T, good debut, forgettable match.
Yeah, I mean, so the reason the ref is distracted, we should mention. So Karen Angle comes out in the middle of this match. And I got to read my notes here because there's so many goofy things happening.
Starts arguing with Queen Charmel, or I don't know.
Well, before Charmel comes out, so Booker, he's in there. He's spine buster, Spinaroonie, scissors kick to Kurt Angle. Kevin Nash breaks up the pin. Kevin Nash hits Booker with a jackknife, but then Sting comes in, Scorpion Death drop to Kevin Nash. So everybody's just getting in there, hitting their finishers. At this point, Karen Angle distracts the referee, and on the other side of the ring, AJ Styles and Tomko come out. Why are they here? They've been aligned with Christian. He has nothing to do with this. But AJ and Tomko come out. Tomko lays out Sting with a clothesline. And then on the other side, Charmel comes out. And then her and Karen start having a cat fight on the outside of the ring. In the ring, Nash jackknife, goes for a jackknife on Sting, but then Kurt hits his own partner with the title belt because he doesn't want Nash to pin Sting. Then Kurt hits the Olympic slam to Sting, but then the ref's distracted with the wives on the outside fighting. And then Kurt, to your point, has to go out and say, hey, I got this guy beat. Come in here. And it's this, but I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a 2 count, right? This is the spot. Oh, he had him beat, but it took too long to cover him. So he's not going to beat him with this. But no, it's just the 1, 2, 3, and we're done. Booker T didn't even factor into the finish at all. He was the big debut. TNA.
Standing strong with his wife at the end.
Yeah.
And, they close out looking at Christian, looking right above.
Yeah, Christian comes out. He's looking confused. Does the old Owen Hart WrestleMania 10. Like, what the heck? What the heck is going on in here? Like what he's saying to himself. His boys have left him for Kurt, maybe? Don't know. But a lot going on here. A lot of reason to tune into Impact this Thursday, huh?
One of my last notes I wrote down, I said, it's funny how a lot of this is main event mafia without being main event mafia.
This is 100% main event mafia. And watching this is like, man, just in a couple months, they're all going to be on one team. It's going to be fine. Like, whatever. Who cares?
They all wear nice suits except Samoa Joe. But, just...
He's fat. But
so are the Dudleys. No, wait. The Dudleys are...
They're thick.
They're Team 3 Dick,
Team Thick D. Gotta love it. Yeah, the main event, the main event started and there was like 12 minutes left. I was like, okay, they're going to stuff a lot in here, like very quickly. But it was fine. But it was all for the Booker T debut. I question, it felt like a big deal, I guess, in the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, like when I think of Booker T and TNA, I don't really remember. I feel like he didn't make a big impact. Maybe I'm just forgetting. I just remember him being a part of the main event mafia. That's pretty much it.
World champion.
Yeah, but who wasn't? I was a TNA world champion.
That is a good point. Who wasn't?
But I don't know. But yeah, overall, TNA Genesis 07. Are you feeling better about the show now that we talked about it, or worse? I think you just didn't like the fat people on the show, except Samoa Joe.
You know what it is? I love Samoa Joe. But you know what it is? I think the show starts bad and ends bad. And you ever play my GM mode?
Yeah.
It's like your curve dynamic. See, that middle is good, but you drop down and you lost me a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, you can't start the show with the national anthem and then go to Black Rain.
It's a very harsh transition.
And then end the show with some of the greatest people to ever step in the ring, but all of a sudden you got 4 interference spots, confusing rules, and a ref who clearly doesn't know what his job is inside the ring.
A lot going on. A lot of spoons in the porridge, as they say.
I think if you move this match to the pre-main event and had Christian the main event with the turn there, it still would have been as effective.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Oh, it's a crazy time for TNA. I mean, the roster is loaded at this point. You add Booker T to what they already have. The X Divisions. I really enjoyed Jay Lethal versus Sanjay Dutt. That might have been my second favorite match. I would agree. Ladder match, probably match of the night here.
I still think Rude and Samoa Joe are the second best match.
I thought that was fine. I thought it was good, but I don't know.
But clearly, if I was going out of 5, we'll say 1 out of 10, I give it a 5, and they get 1 full point just because James Storm and Eric Young were really entertaining.
See, everything about this show is. I think you're being crazy. I think you're great. A little harsh there, but I think I know why. I think I know why you don't like this show. I think I know the real reason. It's because there's 6 sides of this ring, and you are from the 4 Sides of the Ring podcast. That's why you hate the show, but I don't care. It was a great time having you on, man. I know you guys are on a bit of a hiatus right now, but where can everybody find your stuff and follow you and kiss you on the mouth?
You can find us on Twitter at Four Sides of the Ring. You can catch us on YouTube at Four Sides of the Ring. We're coming back in September. We just had a lot of moving around. Brandy just bought a house. Marcus just bought a house. Chano's getting new work hours. Yeah, so we have a lot of people moving. So setting up their studios and stuff like that takes a little bit of time. So we just took a little hiatus. I think they want to go live tomorrow just to talk about this new ESPN deal or whatever's going on.
Nice.
But yeah, so but we'll be back in September. We go live every Thursday. If you do want to kiss me in the mouth, I'm in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Damn, I'm a little close. Don't threaten me with a good time.
You know what I'm saying? I also keep a rat. I learned from Black Rain today. You got to keep a rat close to you to put down people's shirts. It just gets them going.
How close? Where you keep this rat at?
All right, man. You want me to pull out my back pocket?
Whoa, come on. This is a family show. Put that away. That'll drive people to the YouTube.
But of course, you can catch me on Twitter at NITRAM_4SOTR. That's NITRAM_4SOTR. And yeah, man, I had fun. I hope I wasn't too negative. I try to bring some positive out there. But you just got too many fat Dudleys.
Once again, thank you to Nitram from the Four Sides of the Ring podcast for joining me. Was a hoot having my boy Rammer Jammer on the program. Go check him out and go check out all Four Sides of the Ring podcasts, everything they do. All that stuff will be in the description, as well as all my socials, yada, yada, yada. Hey, I think that about does it, huh? I think we about covered it. That was a fun time. I had fun. Did you have fun? Did you get there? No? Oh, tough. Anyways. I think I'd do a good Squidward. What do you think about this? SpongeBob. I think it's this portion of the podcast where I think most people have tuned out. So I can just really say anything. I could go on a real damn. Never mind. I was gonna. Hey! Goddamn cats yelling at each other. The little one, so it's the little cat, Rock, and the bigger cat, Dwayne. Rock always instigates the shit. She's a little bitch. She will start hissing at Dwayne when he's not even near her. Just dramatic little fucking bitch. Anyways, I'm gonna go deal with that. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Love ya. Mwah. I'm hard.
Yeah. And the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started.